Hey there, happy Thursday. I hope your day's off to a great start. If I look over this way every now and again, it's because I'm doing a different camera orientation and I can get a little confused. So hopefully I'm looking right at you. Today is Thursday, so we have a little bit of seller education. And I want to talk about repairing your home before you put it on the market. So you want to take those honeydews into honeyduns, okay? So a couple things that we commonly see on home inspections. We're going to go over that, but let me tell you why you need to repair before you go on the market. Okay, one reason is because you don't want to scare a buyer off, right? The less they see, the more comfortable they are with making an offer. So you want to make sure anything that is visible to you is taken care of because it's going to be visible to a buyer. And another reason is it is cheaper for you to fix it now versus waiting for a home inspection. Now, why is that? Well, on a home inspection, a buyer might request for you to have a licensed contractor, and sometimes they'll say a Class A contractor, and sometimes it's something as simple as changing a light bulb to make a light work, and you don't want to have to pay a licensed contractor to do that. That's something that you absolutely can do yourself. Or maybe it has to do with grout, and you can fix grout yourself. That's pretty simple. Now, there are a few things that I would recommend a professional to do. So let's go over a couple of things that we often see on home inspections, and if you can do it yourself or if you need a professional. One thing we see a lot of is water intrusion. So with water intrusion, that often has to do with grading of the outside. So grading means where your house meets the ground. And a lot of times that is just taking some dirt and mulch, building it up and sloping it away from the home. That also means making sure you have your gutter extensions on the house. And that's $5 at Lowe's per tube. You know that black tubing? You just have to put some gutter extensions on and funnel that water away from the house. And you want to make sure your gutters are clean, because that's another thing. If the gutters aren't clean, they can back up and that'll have water intrusion. That is all stuff you can do yourself. Now here's the thing. If you have not seen the water intrusion for a while and it's been backing up into the house, you might have a leak in the house or a wet spot, and that could lead to mold. Now here's the thing. If you think you have mold, I highly recommend you have a professional come in and evaluate it and clean it. And here's why. I think it's better for you to protect yourself up front and have somebody that is a professional come in, do the work, give you receipts. That way when you go on the market, if that buyer ever has an issue, they don't come back and say, well, you didn't disclose this, or you didn't fix this, or you knew about this and tried to hide it. If you have a professional fix it, you have, as Taylor Swift and Katy Perry say, you have receipts. And you can show them the receipts that you did everything that you could to remediate the problem. So mold is definitely something I think you should hire a professional for. Another thing that comes up a lot is wood rot. So we see that around windowsills and around door jambs and plates and all that kind of stuff. I mean, if you're handy, you probably know how to fix something like wood rot. My husband would not, sorry honey, you would not know how to do that correctly, so we would hire a handyman for that. But a handyman is going to be cheaper than a Class A contractor. So you want to check your windowsills and around the doors for wood rot. Electrical, y'all, that's one thing. My dad was a fire chief growing up. I've seen a lot of fires. We don't mess with electrical in this house, not even ceiling fans. My husband did one light himself, and he doesn't feel comfortable and I don't feel comfortable, so we always hire an electrician. I just had an electrician here the other day. They often work by the hour, so maybe they're $120 per hour and they can knock out as much as they can. So if you have a couple receptacles that have reverse polarity, and you can go around checking all your receptacles. There's this little thing, I should go buy one, at Home Depot and Lowe's, that if you plug it into all your receptacles, it's what the home inspectors use, and you'll know if that socket has any issues. So if you're handy and you feel comfortable with the electrical, but I personally would leave that to the professionals. Chipped paint. Okay, why does chipped paint, a cosmetic issue, come up on home inspection? If your buyer is getting an FHA loan, then that appraisal is going to be a little more strict than, say, somebody that's getting a conventional loan. So what they don't want to see is chip paint or stuff around windowsills, chip paint on handrails, because what they're worried about there is like lead-based paint and children eating it and getting sick. So, you know, if you're some chip paint and your house is older, definitely go ahead and fix that up. HVAC is something that worries a lot of people on home inspection. That's something that you can have your home serviced. You know, maybe $189 for a service. Make sure it's all in good working order. If you keep that receipt, it's something we can use to market. We could be like, hey, we checked out the HVAC and it's in great working order. The roof. The roof is a big one. Roof can be a deal killer for people. I think roof inspections are around $200. If you want to have a roof inspection up front for peace of mind, so that, let's say the inspector says, oh, I found this roof issue, you could say, I had this checked out a week ago or 2 weeks ago, whatever, by this roofing company. Here's the receipt. They say it's in good working order. It's ammo to protect you. The crawl space is another huge deal killer. And that's because how many people have crawled in their crawl space recently? I crawl in a lot of crawl spaces because, you know, it's the nature of my job. I'll go in and check things out when I'm showing houses. I like to look at the crawl space. I haven't been on my own. Just like, I'm not going down there. So have your crawl space checked out. Even if it's just you opening up the door, you don't want to have any debris in the crawl space. It's funny the things that people will keep in the crawl space. You don't want to have any debris, especially no wood, anything like that, because that will attract termites. So you want to get that stuff out. You want to make sure you have the vapor barrier completely spread out against all surfaces down there. And if you see any standing water, that's a clue that you have an issue and you may want to get a professional in to help you figure out what's going on. Something else that comes up a lot on inspections, this is the last thing I'll go over for right now, loose toilets. Now that's definitely something you can fix yourself. How do you know if you have a loose toilet? If you hover over, I can't believe I'm going to show you this, but if you hover over a toilet, let's pretend this is a toilet, and if you straddle that toilet and if you go like this, and if it wiggles, you have a loose toilet. And that usually means that you have a broken wax seal. And that's something you can easily fix. You can go to Home Depot, Lowe's, you can fix the seal on that. Loose toilets happen all the time. It comes up on almost every inspection that we do. So that's definitely something you can fix yourself. Oh, and I will say one other thing that comes up a lot. Broken seals in windows. How do you know if you have a broken seal? If it hasn't rained in a long time and you see like that fog on the window, that means you have a broken seal and you might want to get a glass company out to repair that because it's going to come up on inspection. And those are just a few things, but if you do this stuff up front, that's going to be cheaper in the long run. It's going to give the buyer more confidence, and honestly, it's going to make you feel better as a seller knowing that you've done your due diligence and you are confident that your house is in good working order, so there's probably less likely to be surprises when it comes to home inspection. If you all have any questions about something in particular, you can put it in the comments, because if you have that question, somebody else probably has that question. But if you're shy, you can feel free to message me. I am happy to answer anything you have. Y'all, I am Shannon Milligan from RVA Home Team, brokered by eXp Realty. And if you would like a copy of our seller guide, which talks a lot about this and other things, send me a message with your email and I will get that out to you within 24 hours. It has Q&A and all this kind of good stuff. And if you want to give me a call, 804-248-8207. All right, guys, I hope you have an awesome weekend. I will be back on Tuesday with buyer tips. We missed it this past Tuesday because, well, full disclosure, T-Swizzle, Taylor Swift. I took my 11-year-old daughter, and so we drove up for that. It was an amazing concert, and that's why I missed it. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.